In the previous lesson, we established the International Phonetic Alphabet as a stable GPS for the mouth. But if you only look at English, you're only looking at a fraction of the map. Today, we're going to venture into the exotic corners of human speech. And then we're going to talk about what happens when the physical machinery of the vocal tract breaks down. Most of the sounds you've made your entire life rely on the lungs, what we call a pulmonic egressive airstream. But human language is far more creative than that. Imagine a sound where the power source isn't the lungs, but the glottis itself. In languages like Georgian or Quechua, you find ejectives marked with an apostrophe in the IPA, like that or that. To make these, you close the glottis, raise the entire larynx to compress the air in the mouth, and then release. It creates a sharp metallic pop that sounds nothing like standard English plosive. Then there are the clicks, found predominantly in southern African languages like Xhosa and Zulu. These are velaric ingressives. You tap a pocket of air between the tongue and the roof of the mouth and suck inward. It is a completely different engine than the one we mapped on the previous lesson. If we stay within the pulmonic system but move to different places of articulation, we find sounds like the voiceless uvular fricative in German or the pharyngeal sounds of Arabic. These are sounds produced so far back in the throat that English speakers often mistake them for clearing the throat. But for a linguist, they are simply precise coordinates at the posterior end of the tract. But what happens when a speaker knows the coordinate, but their body can't reach the target? This is where forensic and clinical linguists meet. Think about a cleft palate. If there's a structural opening in the hard or soft palate, the speaker cannot achieve the velaric closure we talked about in the previous lesson. The air intended for an oral plosive, like b or d, leaks into the nasal cavity. The result is hypernasality. The speaker is aiming for an oral coordinate, but the physical equipment is forcing a nasal escape. Consider ankyloglossia, commonly known as being tongue-tied. If the lingual frenulum is too short, the tip of the tongue cannot reach the alveolar ridge for sounds like t, d, or n. The speaker might compensate by using a different part of the tongue, but the acoustic result shifts. In forensic cases, identifying these specific articulatory signatures or deviations can be used to identify a speaker from a recording. Whether it's a structural impairment or a neuromotor issue like dysarthria, where the brain can't coordinate the timing of the gestures, we see that the place manner voicing matrix is a fragile thing. Today we're going to explore those outliers, both the ones that are part of a language's natural inventory and the ones that arise when the articulatory engine is under strain. As you experiment with these sounds, be prepared to share your articulatory struggle during our discussion.